Then Hrothgar rose, to rank and honor, warfare's rewards. Well they obeyed him, friendly followers, until the force of use became a mighty band. It came to his mind later to make a mead hall, put his men to work on a hall higher, handsomer, too, than yet any man had ever heard of. Then that sorry soul suffered a while, most miserably, he who in murk lingered. That ghastly grim one, Grendel, they called him, was that fiend of fens, who defended the waste, marsh and moorland. He went then seeking, soon after nightfall, for that high hall court that was inhabited by able Danes after ale drinking. Within there he noticed a noble company sleeping after feasting, sorrow unthought of, care-load of mankind. The creature of evil, grim and greedy, was gripped at once by wrath and raging, and in their rest seized on 30 thane guards, theft and murder. Jubilant with booty, he journeyed homeward, with surfeit of slaughter, seeking his dwelling. Beowulf the brave was best, strongest of mighty warriors, at that moment then of an honored life. He ordered a vessel, best on breakers, said he was bound elsewhere, seeking the war king over the swan's pathway, since the renowned ruler had need of warriors. Hail to you, Hrothgar! I am Higelac kin, his young retainer. In youth I ventured on many exploits. The matter of Grendel became known fully on my native soil. Seafarers said that this same mansion, best of buildings, is for the boldest Danes, empty and idle, after the evening light comes to be covered in the confines of the sky. Now you may have and hold this house of splendor. Be mindful of glory. Show might, courage, watch out for the wicked. No wish be neglected, if you survive in vigor, that valorous deed. In the dark night came the shadow prowler. But no further prey would his lot allow. When this last night passed, no more of mankind. The hero seized him, ill intending, and on his arm he leaned. The sinful creature saw then straightway that he had not encountered, in any corner of the earth, in its utmost realms, in other men, a harder hand grip. In his heart he was frightened and fearful. Flee he could not. Hot pain anguished the shape of terror. On his shoulder spread a great gash bursting, gaping sinews, breaking the bone case. Beowulf was granted glory in battle, and thence Grendel fled, fatally wounded, under fen-clad hills, to his unhappy home. Here readily he realized fully, his reckoning ceased, his days were numbered. Grendel's mother, a ghastly creature, she who must remain, remembering troubles in the dire waters of dreaded torrents, after Cain became the cruel slayer of his own brother, offspring of his father. It was a sad journey that his mother now meant to venture. As greedy and gloomy, she grasped at vengeance. When she was discovered, escape her intention. She was in haste hoping, yet to hold to life. Clutching quickly, she clasped the warrior as she fled fenward, one firmly carried. Beowulf answered, born to Ecthau. Bear bitterness, better for each one to avenge comrades, than in vain to grieve. So let each of us to the end endure in the world's troubles. Floods surged with blood, where the folk looked down on that horrid gore. Having dressed himself in battle armor, Beowulf trusted that the wide war mail, well linked by hand, would defend his life. He had no fear at all, as he explored the pool, that it would prove faulty, or that a hostile hand, in hateful fury, should harm or hurt his heart and vitals. She who had defended the flood for 50 years, greedy for battle, grim and angry, sensed already that a certain one hunted downward toward haunted realm. She groped toward him, grasped the warrior with her cruel claws, but might not cleave open such a sound body, circled and protected by buckled breast mail. Then the ogress bore the armored leader to her deep dwelling as she dived below. Then that worthy man saw the witch near him, a monstrous mere-wife. He gave a mighty stroke with the battle brand. The blow was not weakened. Then the warrior found that the flashing sword failed to wound her or injure fatally, but the edge played false for the Prince of Need. The heir of Ecthau would have ended his life below the ample earth, but armored corslet, hard-linked hauberk, helped the chieftain, and the blessed Lord brought victory. The High King of Heaven, holy ruler, set out to save him, deciding justly after the good leader gained his footing. Then he saw a sword, a siege-proofed falchion of ancient Etons, with edges tempered, a guardsman's glory. Of life despairing, he launched a blow, catching her neck with a cruel stroke, so the bone joints broke, and the blade passed quite through the foredoomed body, and she fell dying. The blade was bloody. The brave one rejoiced. Afterwards, later, in loud clash of war, Hygelac had fallen, and Heodred been slaughtered below the shield shelter by sharp claymores, death-dealing blades, when daring Swedes, fierce fighting men, found him by seeking among his honored Geats, and with enmity hunted and harried Heroric's nephew. Afterwards the broad kingdom passed to Beowulf's hand. For 50 years he defended it well. He held the homelands as head of the nation, wise and worthy, until the worm arose, a dragon ruling, in the dark night-time, the heath-covered height, as the horde watcher on the stony steep. A straight track led there, hidden, unheeded. But some human wretch at last entered in, even to the treasure, heaped by heathens. His hand grasped a cup, broad, bright with gems, nor did the beast conceal that it was deceived in sleep by the sleights of a thief. Neighboring folk knew its trouble, when tribal troops felt its intense fury. Thus, till now surviving every violence, savage assault, sought for exploit, until that certain day, the son of Ecthau fought to the finish with that fire dragon. Then, as one of 12, the warlord of Geats stood, stirred by wrath, to study the dragon. He had found by then whence the feud arose, malice to mankind. The fire of battle flared far and wide. That triumph for the leader was the last labor of his life on earth. Then the people, the Geats, prepared for their chieftain an imposing pyre at the planned gravesite, hung with helmets, hard battle shields, bright breast armor, as he had bidden them. Thus his fellow Geats, chosen champions, cheerlessly grieved for the loss of their lord, leader, and defender.